Have you ever wondered how a narcissistic father's aspirations can shape his son's life? Narcissism, a complex and often misunderstood trait, can deeply influence a father's expectations for his son. When a father's aspirations are rooted in narcissism, the ideals he projects onto his son may become unrealistic, distorted, even damaging. Let's imagine a case. A father, a high achiever, expects his son to follow in his footsteps, relentlessly pushing him towards success. But what if the son dreams of a different path? What if his heart yearns for art, nature, or a simple life away from the limelight? The father's unrealistic expectations can create a rift, a silent battleground where love and acceptance are conditional on meeting these lofty standards. This dynamic can lead to a distorted lens through which the son views himself and his worth. A son's struggle to meet these expectations can set the stage for a complex and challenging relationship. Now, imagine the scenarios where these fathers project their aspirations onto their sons. Picture this. A father, once a high school football star, relentlessly pushes his son to follow in his footsteps. Despite the son's love for art, he's pushed to the sidelines, his dreams dismissed as frivolous. Or envision a father, a self-made entrepreneur, who insists his son take over the family business, ignoring his son's passion for environmental science. In these scenarios, you might notice a common thread: a disregard for the son's individuality, an inappropriate pressure to conform to the father's ideals. Let's consider a case study. Meet John, a talented musician who was forced to study law by his narcissistic father. John's father used emotional manipulation, guilt-tripping him about the sacrifices he'd made. These scenarios reveal the intricate facade that narcissistic fathers often construct to maintain their image. It's a precarious illusion built on the dreams they've imposed upon their sons, often at the expense of their sons' happiness and well-being. What happens when sons find themselves caught in this crossfire of expectations? Imagine a young man, let's call him John, constantly striving to meet the sky-high expectations of a narcissistic father. John's every move, every decision is dictated by this need to please his father, to somehow win that elusive approval. The emotional toll on John is immense, a constant pressure cooker of anxiety, self-doubt, and confusion. This is the reality for many sons of narcissistic fathers. The complexity of their identity development is further deepened by this narcissistic influence. These sons may struggle with self-worth, often questioning their own value apart from their father's approval. They may also grapple with imposter syndrome, constantly feeling like they're falling short, never quite good enough despite their achievements. This struggle for identity, for self-worth, is a painful journey, often filled with emotional turmoil. Each son, like John, is caught in a difficult crossfire of expectations and self-discovery. Caught in this crossfire, sons can find themselves on a difficult journey of self-discovery. What lies behind the curtain of a narcissistic father's behavior? Let's unmask the traits that often lurk in the shadows. Subtle signs can include a constant need for admiration and an inability to empathize with their child's feelings. More overt behaviors might be consistent manipulation or an intense focus on maintaining a perfect image. Consider the case of a father who endlessly brags about his son's achievements, but only as a reflection of his own success. This father may dismiss his son's struggles, viewing them as personal affronts rather than opportunities for growth. These behaviors often stem from deep-seated insecurity and a fear of appearing ordinary. Narcissistic fathers may crave the validation they never received in their own childhoods, projecting their unfulfilled desires onto their sons. Understanding these traits can be the first step in navigating a relationship with a narcissistic father. By recognizing the underlying motives, we can begin to untangle the complex web of narcissistic parenting. So, what should women know when dealing with a narcissistic partner or father to their child? For women grappling with this challenge, understanding the nuances of narcissism is crucial. The first step is recognizing the narcissistic traits in your partner or your child's father. This recognition is key to navigating the complexities of such relationships. Next, it's essential to create a supportive environment for your son. Encourage open dialogue, foster emotional intelligence, and instill a strong sense of self-worth. This can help mitigate the emotional toll of unrealistic expectations. Consider the case of Jane. She realized her partner was narcissistic and made conscious efforts to support their son. She ensured their son had a safe space to express his feelings and helped him understand that his father's expectations were not a reflection of his worth. Remember, maintaining your own well-being is just as important. Engage in self-care, seek professional help if needed, and find solace in supportive communities. With understanding and support, women can play a critical role in mitigating the impact of a narcissistic father on their sons.